Hey, y'all, it is Miss Flo, and you are watching and listening to Go with the Flow, a podcast where I pretty much talk about anything and everything because it's my podcast. If this is your first time watching the show, listening and getting involved with the Go with the Flow Nation, I'm an educator, mentor, entrepreneur, Black woman living in our nation's capital, where I have the opportunity to share my stories, interview some amazing people, and of course, just have the opportunity to geek out about my favorite movies, TV shows, and we're going to dive into all of that good stuff. So, welcome, welcome. If you are in the live stream on Twitch, make sure that sorry about that, make sure that you share the stream. Try to get as many people to join the conversation as possible because that's the main reason that I'm doing this. I don't want to just share my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think about some of the issues and topics that we'll be discussing today. It has been a very eventful week, not just in the news, but just going on at the school. Recently, like we had a Monday, we had a cap and gown pinning ceremony, and if you don't know what that is, it gives our graduating seniors the opportunity to pin and thank the people that helped them get to this point in their lives. So I had the pleasure of being pinned by six of my students who I've known for, like, this will be the second year working with them. It was very emotional. It's fine until one of my other students start crying, and I'm an empathetic crier, and then there's just waterfalls. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just show that to you right now because I do want to keep this as a memento. So I had this. This is the graduation teddy bear I received once I got my bachelor's degree from Trinity Washington University, and I wanted to keep any pin that I receive. I'm putting on this lovable bear. I have two from 2019. We didn't get a chance to do the pinning ceremony 2020 because of the pandemic. 2021 and 22. No, wait. 2021 we were still online. Didn't do it then. In 2022, I didn't really know the seniors, unfortunately. Um, but here we go. Like, these are the six pins that line the cap of the graduation polar bear. Shout out to Benji, Michael, Alex, Braylon, Xavier. Did Lachey give me a pin? Today gave me a pin in spirit. She did not want to actually give me a pin. She didn't want to mention it. She didn't want to give me a pin because six other people pinned me before her, and she was a little mad about that, but that's okay. But shout out to all of my graduating seniors. Again, I mentioned this on social media, but I'm also mentioning it to you now. I'm very proud of you. This was a very happy occasion. I'm also excited because it was like the first time we did a live stream for the school. In the past, we usually had like somebody come in to do it, but with the help of our lovely IT team and me MacGyvering the situation a little bit, we managed to do a live stream that was, somewhat successful and a bit of a learning experience. Had a bit of issue with the audio, but managed to really um, just to resolve the issues the best that I could. And maybe in the future we'll have a few more live streams, especially with our production company. And we also had the holistic forums uh, before we went on break, where the students had the opportunity to learn important life lessons, whether it's like how to run a business, making millionaire moves, the importance of your health and having healthy relationships, staying drug free, all of that, all of those positive messages that we want to give out to our scholars before we go on spring break. Also, thank God it's spring break because around this time when we have so many events and more events to come, especially with our graduating seniors, it is a much needed and desired break for me as a digital media teacher. I am ripping and running, getting pictures, making sure things are recorded. but I am fortunate enough to have a number of students that are willing to be involved and help out. It's greatly appreciated. And shout out to everyone that helped me during the holistic forums. Uh, AC, Tyler, Tanae, Lachey, oh my God, Amina, Zarky. Zarky's new. I don't believe Zarky is his name. He is very new. But shout out to Zarky. Um, but yeah, just appreciate everyone that's really been helping me out, especially as I'm still planning for our photo and art gallery that's taking place May 9th, where we will showcase our students' work from the school year. And it's also a networking event. We're going to have professionals come in, heavily emphasize to my students the importance of making these connections now because everybody is looking for somebody to do something for them in connection with the profession. With art and photography, everybody needs a photographer that's like have their own business. Everybody needs like a graphic designer or, just everybody's looking for somebody. But making the connections now is like, well, oh, I know this person. I trust them to do this, that, and the third. So once you have your degree, or what I mean, it can be more official. But like we have talented kids now. I can tell you, like, I am so impressed with the artwork and the photography that we were able to produce this school year. I honestly think most of our kids can be hired and get an internship while in college and just further, perfect their craft. Like I really, it's this will be the first ever photo art gallery that we have ever done. And I'm hoping that it will go off without a hitch. I mean, things happen, you know what I mean, but I know how to keep it moving and so forth. So I'm excited for that. There are a lot of amazing things happening in my education profession and more exciting things that are happening with the publication. Our Instagram page has grown so much just over the year, and hopefully it will continue to grow. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure that you follow me at Noir Vibes DC, because you will get a lot of updates, especially with the Go with the Flow show, things going on our website. Will be hoping to premiere the website next month, May. Not only because it's my birthday month, but also just to further expand the platform and perhaps even bring more content. I don't want this to be my only podcast show. I want to collaborate with other people to help produce uh, more podcasts under the Noir Vibes brand. Um, yeah, so that's what I'm putting it out in the universe because this will help me actually make it happen. And I want you guys to hold me to that as well. Uh, so yeah, so enough about everything that's been going on with me. There have been a lot of things going on in the news, and let's start off with some good news because we definitely need it after, so far this year. The Justins have been reinstated. Um, if this is just an update from a news story last week we talked about, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones were expelled from Tennessee's House of Representatives because they decided to side with their constituents and hold a protest against gun violence in their state and pleading that their colleagues will actually do something, and their colleagues didn't like it, so they were expelled. And this week they were reinstated after making clear cases that they had other colleagues that have created not created, but have done way worse and didn't get expelled. So you had representatives that have literally pissed in the chambers, gross, that have committed felonies, especially sexual violence against minors, double gross. And I think misappropriated funds and still didn't get expelled. So it made no sense that these two young black men got expelled. It makes no sense. You're trying to fire them for doing their job. So I'm glad that that's rectified. And hopefully we could actually do something about gun violence, not just in Tennessee, but just like elsewhere. I believe that all eyes are on Tennessee right now because they have recently have been attacking drag queens, trying to do a drag ban. You had the recent mass shooting that took away 3 kids and 3 teachers. You could use this platform this time to say like, hey, we're done sitting on our hands and we can actually take action and stop people from dying. Because this is, and I've been thinking about this for a while. It makes absolutely no sense for my sister who is Capitol Police, and then for me as a teacher to we're both in a profession where we could die at work, living in America. That is insane. That is insane. I don't know if I haven't talked about this with my mom because I don't want. I'm pretty sure she probably. I don't know if she came to this realization because, like, in DC, we do have a resource officer on campus. We do have resource officers on campus. We have metal detectors. You know what I mean? We were taught as educators if we hear students that are threatening to harm themselves or others, to immediately report it to a counselor so they can get the help that they need and help prevent something from happening. Um, you know, my room automatically locks when you close it for safety reasons. So I feel fortunate as an educator that I feel relatively safe in my building. But for my fellow teachers across the nation, they may not have those protections. And sometimes a lot of those protections aren't enough. Like, even this week, we had a mass shooting just down the street from where I live, around the corner from where I work, a funeral home. There was a mass shooting at Steward's Funeral Home. This is a black-owned business that has been here since the 1900s. They have they done my grandmother's funeral, my cousin's funeral, cousin Nisi. They have done the funeral of my friend Angela Payne. This is like a highly regarded like funeral home. And there was a drive-by that killed one person and 3 were injured. This is a funeral for a gun violence victim. The family asked for the police to be there because they had safety concerns. And yet, this mass shooting still happened. This is very disheartening because I used to go to PSA meetings, public service area meetings, where the community could have, a, a meeting with, it wasn't like the commander, it was like the community resource outreach team, the lieutenant and sergeant of that service area and kind of bring up certain concerns that they have. And most of the time they would ask for, can we have increased police presence in certain hotspot areas? Like if there's like a lot of, robbery or drug use in that area, we would ask for the police to, expand their beat and have like more officers come through to deter crime in that area. And to hear that, okay, police were present at the funeral home and this mass shooting still took place. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Now, just before clarification, the shooting may not be connected to the funeral. The people that were targeted were just people that were just in the area or near there. The time this happened. Um, the way I found out about it is that my mother called me. It just happened around like around 12:30 ish, a little past 12:30. And that's, that my class is starting in the afternoon, and I got a call from my mom, and I'm just like, what's going on? Because my mom knows that I have classes in the afternoon. I'm like, oh no, there must be an emergency, something must have happened. And she's telling me like she heard the gunshots and heard people screaming because she lives near there, just a couple blocks up. Here's the gunshots and here's the screaming of people like running away, and she can see the people running away from like the back window. So this is very close to home, and it's very frightening because like DC has very strict gun laws, and it's not really doing much. Okay, we had police presence. That didn't stop that from happening. So clearly, we need some type of federal law or plan implemented to stop these things from happening. This is happening in any city or state, no matter what their current gun law is, whether it's strict or very loose, open carry, none of that matters. It's just like we just need an assault rifle ban. Just certain types of weapons just don't need to be circulated in the country whatsoever. It just doesn't. Okay, this is like is way too close to home. Okay, near the Stewart Funeral Home, we have East of the River Shopping Center with CVS, the Safeway, our bank, our dry cleaners, the laundromat. Like, this is near other businesses where it's like it's very busy and crowded. Okay, so we just need Congress to have a heart and just do better and realize that assault rifles need to be banned. Other countries have done it. They're not dying from bullets. They may have other issues, but they're not dying from bullets. It makes absolutely no sense. Everybody, like the most patriotic person, will love to say that America is number one. It's the greatest country in the world. Child where? Where? We have to stop the delusion. There's too many kids that are dying. Too many people dying as a result of gun violence. It is insane. And it's not right. We need more people like the two Justins to really advocate for the people. Because majority of the country want common sense gun laws, the assault rifle ban, universal background checks, all of that. It's been polled. The studies have been done. People want this, but yet here we are. So Again, congratulations to the two Justins. I'm glad that you guys have been reinstated. Just to end on a lighter note, I saw a post that said that these two gentlemen look like Riley and Huey Freeman from the Boondocks, and I can't unsee it now. That made me giggle. So, just something to break the tension of the seriousness of this matter. But I thought that was cute. Woo! Okay. To reset a little bit and just to decompress with like all of that, on less serious news, we are dealing with the blue check curse. I'll tell you this, that this has been an ongoing conversation for some months. Ever since Elon Musk said that on Twitter, like we're charging people to have the blue check verification. And if you're not familiar with that is, basically it is a certification that you are who you say you are. Like you are the real person on this account. You are not a fan account. You're not a catfish. It's like you are who you say you are. Now it's moving over to Facebook and Instagram where you could end up paying as high as like $15 a month for this service. And this is so disheartening for person like myself who is just starting her own publication and trying to get the ground running. I was really looking forward to really building my brand to the point where I could earn the blue check. You know what I mean? I think like before you had to at least have 10,000 followers, maybe even more than that. And of course submit, certain documentation to prove that you are who you say you are. And to see like people could just buy it. I mean, they would still have to do the same thing, but it's like you have to buy it. It sucks because like if you're a business owner, myself, like I'm just getting the ball rolling and adding this expense of like $15 a month. That could hurt because that money could go to other areas of my business to help make it grow. So, before I get further into my opinion, I just want to kind of list some of the perks, like, and then you guys can decide, like, do you think it's worth getting the check? All right. So, with the Meta Verify or the blue check, um, establish your presence and build community with Meta Verified. You get access to exclusive benefits. So, enhanced verification. Let your followers know that it's the real you with a verified badge on your Instagram profile. Uh, Proactive protection. Avoid impersonations with active account monitoring. Okay. Direct support, so get help when you need it from a real person on issues that matter to you. Exclusive extras, so express yourself with stickers only available to Meta verified subscribers. Uh, you have to buy this protection? Shouldn't everybody that is creating a- content to help strengthen this app and make it worth something have to buy to protect said content? Because like the whole account impersonation thing, like that, you just can report the page, right? Like if you know if that's a catfish account, or you stumble upon it, you could just report the page. And if you are a strong follower of catfish like myself, because that is my guilty pleasure, you they teach you certain ways that you can tell like, oh, this is a bogus account, whether it's the amount of posts, the amount of following, activity, Like sometimes you can like really tell when a page is fake and inauthentic, um, or like when somebody has been hacked. I had several friends and colleagues that have had their Instagram hacked, and they were pre- like pitching Bitcoin. That's definitely an indicator. Like, where is this coming from? Like, it's weird. Know if this is really worth $15 a month. Like, I don't think they're providing just based off what's presented here. Like, if you go to your account and you go to where the three lines are, go down to Meta verified. That's that's what they're presenting to get you to sign up to subscribe. I don't know if this is really worth the perks. I don't know if this is really worth spending at all. Like it's they still have the process of like you have to submit documentation to prove who you say you are, but there's also concerns like there have been people that pretended to be other corporations and got that blue check and caused so much chaos. So, and then one more thing, people noticed that Doja Cat no longer has the blue check, and this is what she had to say about it. Just want to pull it up real quick. Uh, Doja has stated that having a blue tick now means that you have a higher chance that you are a complete loser and you're desperate for validation. Duly noted. With all that being said, I had no intention of getting the blue check. I think that this is just a slap in the face to a lot of creators who worked very hard to get the blue check, created so much content, gained a huge following, have been collaborating with brands to make them even bigger. Like this is a no for me. I will pass. And I'm pretty sure other people may pass. Some people may be in a position where they may not have like such a big following like Doja, and just may really need this protection. Um, but I don't it doesn't feel good with my spirit, and I hope that um in the future that this will be no longer a thing and they would just incentivize people to just build their community to earn that blue check because I think that was a really strong motivator. Oh, it's a mess. Corporations are just becoming evil, and it doesn't just stop with social media. It's really in our food. We have been dealing with inflation and high grocery prices this year, and we may be paying more for food that could be very harmful to us. I've been noticing a lot on social media, seeing more posts about how a lot of these very famous brands of food, candy, sweets, and other products are banned in other countries, not banned in the US. And you may be asking why? Why are these foods banned? Like I love Pop Tarts. I love Mountain Dew. I'm a little Debbie's. Little Debbie may be trying to kill you because here's why the foods are banned. Okay. These foods are banned because they have yellow 5, yellow 6, red 60, potassium bromate, which is a known carcinogen, which can be harmful to children. A carcinogen is a substance that causes cancer. That causes cancer. Okay. So I don't what is our FDA doing? The Food and Drug Administration here in the US is just like they see what is in our food and they're just say, have at it. Swear, it just feels like our government doesn't want us to exist anymore. They're thinning the herd. That's what it looks like to me. Okay? And this is like very hard because like in the past, as a teacher, you have students complain like they don't have time to eat breakfast. They're like hungry and you want to provide like an incentive treat. Like I would have, Pop Tarts was the easiest thing because you can have it toasted, untoasted. It's immediate. The kids like it. And then now I had this conversation with them. It's like, yo, I can't get Pop Tarts anymore. They were like, why? And I showed them the post. Like, they were like, okay. So we're talking about like the switching something different, so where they can still have, just something in the morning to just have the energy to do their work. This is, and when I was talking about this with my students, they were like, well, if we just stop buying them, wouldn't that hurt the economy because there's such big brands? But I'm just like, if enough people stopped buying these brands because they are so harmful, they would change their ingredients. There are other brands that don't have yellow 5, yellow 6, red, whatever in their food. Still healthy, still making it. It's still a thing. The reason why the bus boycott worked, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. The reason why the bus boycott worked is because when black people stopped taking the bus and opted to walk, the bus company was like, oh, wait a minute, we get most of our money from black people because they are the ones that really take public transportation. So we got to desegregate the bus. That's how change happens. Okay? If we want them to take these ingredients out, we have to stop buying it. Okay? And let me tell you these foods because it is wild. I wanted to post it, but you wouldn't be able to see it on screen. So I'm gonna just go over some familiar brands that you may know. That definitely have like potassium bromate, um, Harmel, West, Goya. Goya, I think that'd be healthy. All right, I don't even could pronounce what's in Kellogg's, Nestle, and Nesco. I don't know. And then brominated vegetable oil, Mountain Dew. Um, I'm just start listing other things that are banned. They have other banned ingredients, but like I can't even like really pronounce them. So Plainsville and there's Genio because I guess they're baking products. They are banned. Jolly Ranchers, M&M's with Blue One, Brilliant Blue, um, Swedish Fish. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Red 40, not Red 60. My bad. Um, so yeah, Swedish Fish, Kool-Aid, Red Vines, Yellow 5, Yellow 6, Peeps, Jello, Hostess. Um, here's another. Okay, so you can't have Pillsbury, Jimmy Dean, Arnold. This is for like for dough. Anything with artificial growth hormones. General Mills, Land O'Lakes. Oh God, I eat these chips. Pringles, Lay's, because they have olein. This is a fat substance used to lower calories in otherwise high-fat foods. It was widely used in the 1990s, but has since lost popularity. It's also used in crackers. I saw that Ritz was banned as well. Parabens. Now this is in your cosmetics. They inhibit mold and bacteria growth. So this is an Olay, CoverGirl, Cetaphil. And then pink slime is a meat byproduct used to bulk up meat products. It's a create from scraps and trimmings that have been processed and cleaned with ammonia. Oh, it's in fast food. It's ground meat and meat products. To be honest, well, I don't really use Olay. CoverGirl, I kind of stopped and I switched over to Revlon and Maybelline. Oh my God. Tyson was bought for the one for the pink slime. I'm just say this. In order to encourage change, just stop buying the products. Switch over to products that haven't been banned everywhere else. Do your research, read the back of them, the back of the items, see what's in them, and just support brands that are not killing us. That's all you have to do. And then when they see the decrease in sales, it was like, oh, okay, people are starting to pay attention what's in the products. Let's start taking them out. Because a lot of it is in there to just those ingredients is just to make it look better. Things to not kill me. Things that are not going to affect my hormones. That's not going to um give me cancer. I just want food to keep me alive, not kill me slowly. Is that too much to ask? Is it? Is it too much to ask at this point? I let's just hope and pray. Like if you would get behind this movement and just stop buying these products, they make a stand. They'll change it. But if we just keep buying the same, oh, I don't really care, then they're gonna keep doing it. Because clearly our government, they ain't doing nothing about gun violence. After kids getting shot up, they're not gonna do anything about the food industry because most of them are probably funding their campaign. So it's like it's up to the people to say like we are not with this. They can't keep messing with us. No. We need to have that Wu-Tang mentality and shake up the industry. Speaking of which, I watched their final season. Wu-Tang, the American Saga. If you have not watched this on Hulu, I highly recommend it from like several perspectives. Okay, let me start from like the criminal justice perspective really quickly because I like to flex my major and my master's degree. Okay, this is definitely a tale that people are a product of their environment. In their heart of hearts, the Wu-Tang Clan, every single one of them are giant nerds. They're comic book geeks, they're weebs, they're sweet kids. These were if in another lifetime these kids like Wu-Tang probably would have been like my students. Not that much different. In the after school club, writing reviews and commentary on their shows. They were dirty little kids, but because of their surrounded in a violent environment in like almost the in the midst or like the tail end of the crack pandemic epidemic, the crack epidemic, they that's just what most of them end up doing at first. But interesting. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Interestingly, nope. That's why can't I pronounce that? Jesus, it's just exciting to see that they use their street smarts to make such wave in the music industry. RZA and his brother like completely changed the game in creating deals that not only established them as a group but as individuals. So they would not only just be as one and drop this like amazing first album with 36 chambers, but that they could have valued solo careers, make their own money, and be well taken care of, despite some hesitation from the members. Um, by the way, there will be some spoilers, so if you haven't had a chance to watch the Wu-Tang series, just kind of like pause this for a second, or just step away. But there will be a bit of spoilers. Um, you have the success of their first album, then you start to see some members are starting to blow up. Method Man for sure was signed with Def Jam. Um, then you have Ghostface and Raekwon the Chef. I think they had like solo albums and then they did a collaborative album. They're doing well. ODB doing very well despite with his shenanigans, with his drug addiction, his wild behavior. Um, but then you see some resentment from others, especially from You God and Inspector Deck. Um, but the Inspector Deck was harder to watch because he was really devoted to the group and to the cause. Even with his single that he did on his own, created his own beat because RZA was swamped and had the opportunity to do Tales from the Hood soundtrack, did the single, but didn't put it under his own name. He put it under Wu-Tang because he's such a devoted soldier. And then to see that there wasn't much effort in the beginning to get him a solo deal, that was kind of hard to watch. And then you understand like him walking away for a little bit because other people that may have not been in the group as long enough were getting deals. So it was very weird. Um, and the other common theme for like this season was that RZA for a long time is making like a lot of the big name decisions. For everybody else, but not really consulting the members of the group, whether it was the new sound direction he was going into, some business deals, tour ideas. It was everything went through him, but nothing went through the group, which caused a lot of tension. And it's understandable. That's very understandable. Um, you're dealing with nine gentlemen, different egos, um, that were just clashing, which is normal in any band. I think a lot of boy bands, if you saw the New Edition story, you would see how those tensions can get high, and a lot of times really disintegrate a group. Um, and it was good to see that it was very transparent with that. It didn't. What I really appreciate from the series is that it showed the good and bad. Like it wasn't really trying to hide anything. It didn't try to sugarcoat ODB's situation. It didn't try to sugarcoat Riz's way of thinking. I guess he like looking back at what he done, he recognizes like where the tension was. And maybe, just maybe he might have not to fully speculate his mindset, but maybe even to kind of show like he may have regretted some of those decisions, but like in his heart of hearts, he kind of knew um what was best for the group, even if the other members didn't see it at the time. Mm. What I also really liked about the series is that RZA will take any opportunity to just make a kung fu flick in the middle of the series. And that is perfectly fine. That's how he illustrated the Liquid Swords album with Jizza. Just a different way to tell his creative process in making some of the music in the album. Um, we even saw that with Ghostface and Raekwon, where they were kind of like planning their CD, their album together, and how they wanted to be really gangsta, like, but just make it like actually like like a short movie. I think the actors, and you could tell, like the actors had fun. The casting was very phenomenal. Um, I think everyone, there were some people were complaining about the actor who's doing RZA, but I would just like RZA is producing it. He's directing it, so he must have seen something. And it's not like it's a Lifetime movie, and we're getting the Aaliyah story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the actual people that live this life that picked them. Like I think everybody, this was it was a, I think the cast was good. I think everybody did such an amazing job. Um, and you could tell that the actors really bonded. I follow like TJ Adams who played ODB and who's the other cat? Julian. Hold on, I want to make sure I get his name right because I actually saw this actor in a play in DC, um, The King Lear. So apparently Wu-Tang has like Shakespearean actors um on deck, and he was really good. Hold on, let me see if I could pull up because I want to make sure um I have the name. Um, it's Elijah Martinez. Well, Julian Elijah Martinez. He really was really good in his role. He played Riz's brother, and that role was very challenging because like he was the more business oriented, like trying to really make these deals, try to stick to the deadlines. Where you have like RZA, who is just like, "Yo, we're not ready yet because I'm trying to find this new sound," or "We're not ready yet because." I need so and so, I need everybody or certain people on the album, or certain people might have been started being distant, like the amount of conflict, the resolution of them like finally coming together and getting it together um on this major tour with Rage Against the Machine, like it was like the conclusion of it. And I'm glad that now let me just say this. It would be interesting to try to find out like how much the other members they feel about the series and how much was like really accurate in terms of what was going on. I did see a snippet from You God that immediately that he admitted that he is upset about how Rizek was kind of managing things because he was putting new people before the original members. So that part is very much true. We could confirm. Um, did he really bite power? That is a very uh good question as well. And I just overall, I would just like to say like I just like everybody's story arc. Power was, heavy duty drug dealer that was beefing with Ghostface, Jesus Christ, was beefing with Ghostface, and RZA family for a bit, and then the turnaround that they end up collaborating. He funded Wu-Tang Productions at first, and then as he started to build up Wu-Wear, further branding for Wu-Tang Productions. His dad owned a mom and pop shop with clothing, and then he has his own clothing line that was featured in Macy's and was going big. He didn't want to sell out and give control to his work, which is very respected. And then other members of Wu-Tang invested in him, so that he could keep his business under him and expand it, just like any major corporation. Uh, that was very beautiful to see. So, it was just I think overall, with all the tension and conflict, there was still a good message of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? They may have fought a lot, and there are times that they were actually able to come together and make peace so they could not only make more music and create an amazing second album, that was like a 4 million deal. Jesus. Um, but I just appreciated how like the story ended. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they were family. That's very beautiful. Where they which you just think about like where they started from, whether they were at each other's throats, enemies, ready to just in most cases kill each other, to making this powerful group that was so influential in hip hop in the music industry as a whole. And even later, if you don't remember, like was it a few years ago, they created an album, like an art piece, and just like sold it to only be heard from one person. Like only Wu-Tang could do that. You know what I mean? Like that is like that's power right there, man. That's artistry on a whole another level. They were thinking like nobody else. And it's a great story. See, the reason why they call it like an American Saga because they really have achieved the American dream from rags to riches. Like, if they don't already do TED Talks, they should do TED Talks. They should do TED Talks for sure. Because people need to see their blueprint and just recognize what they've done. Nobody else in the industry was really doing this. There are a lot of times they've been reckless and nobody really wanted to invest in them, but they still made it happen. And that's a beautiful story to end on. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you want your friends to watch it, push them to watch it for sure. Because it's an amazing story with an amazing cast who look like they had fun shooting it. And that is always great to see. And you could tell when the cast really enjoys each other's company because it also shows like in the final product. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, if you on spring break like myself, you could binge watch it on Hulu. I encourage you 100%. Before we close out this show, just again, if you haven't been paying attention to the past episodes, again, I'm doing a contest for you guys to guess the cosplay or blah. Let me start that over. Because once I edit this, I want this to look like a little bit cleaner, right? If you haven't been watching or listening to the podcast, you should, because there's an opportunity to win exclusive first merch from my shop. Okay? You could be the first to be rocking the t-shirt, have the bag, maybe in a mug, whatever else comes to mind, that can be all yours. If you can guess the villain I will be cosplaying at the Villains Ball May 20th under Plus Ultra Entertainment. This is very exciting. I always talk up plus Ultra Entertainment as much as I can because I really do love their parties. It is a black owned business owned by amazing, incredible people. Uh, so I'm definitely going. So you and who knows, you may be able to go too. It is a bit pricey, but it's worth the price because again, they throw such amazing parties. So here is the next clue into figuring out what villain I'd be cosplaying. Okay, ready? The color palette, black and yellow. There you go. With all the clues, bring it all together. Be the Sherlock Holmes. Try to figure it out. You can send me your guesses and at me at Noir Vibes DC, hashtag Zilla Ball. That's what I need from you guys. Okay? Let me know. I want to hear your guesses. You can even start guessing in the chat. That'd be great. But I think you guys can really figure it out because I want to give this gear away to you because you deserve it and you guys are devoted fans. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because RuPaul's Drag Race is about to come on in about 30 minutes and I want to see who takes home the crown. All right, is it Noir Lux London, Nitra, Sasha Colby, or Mistress Isabel Brooks? Do I want to go ahead and say my guess? I don't know. I feel like they have been gearing up to give Sasha Colby the crown. It'll be nice to see. So, like, I think it's going to be between her and Anitra. That's my gut. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I think everybody that is in the top four deserves to be in the top four for sure. It's just, this was a really good season. Um, each season the queens just bring it, bring it, bring it, and a lot of times the eliminations is just by a hair. You could be in the bottom for just like a very minor thing. Like you could still be amazing, but just miss the mark slightly, and you could be in the bottom. So the competition has been very tough, but all four queens that are here earned it. So it's exciting to see who's the winner. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. If you missed the live stream, that is okay because the next day, this podcast will be available on YouTube and all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Heart, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, I am on it thanks to Anchor. So, and make sure that you follow me on all social media. That includes my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Noir Vibes DC, so that you get the latest updates. And of course, watch the reels. Reels are fun. All right. And if you don't follow me, make sure that you do. Help continue to grow this upcoming publication so that you can just have some amazing content outside of traditional media because even that's kind of questionable. All right. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your support. And I will catch you guys next Friday at 6:30. That is going to be the norm. Okay. I'm pushing for that to have a single routine. I know I've been changing the time, but I'm trying to be more consistent. All right. So Fridays, 6:30. Got it? Good. All right. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.